Hi, I'm Brandon from Zaid Comics, artist and creator of the upcoming graphic novel Magic Cop, and one half of the best looking brothers in all of the comic book industry. And today, we'll talk about when we went to C2E2 2019 over here in Chicago. It's the one of the big comic book conventions that we have. And so Phil and I were walking around doing our normal perusing artist alley. We like to check out people's art and support them if they have something cool. Like to see what other comic books people are doing, especially trying to look at how other people are promoting themselves or the other type of comics that they're trying to put out. And it's always really cool to see people with original IPs trying to sell their work and make a living off of it, or even just a lot of those people, they're not necessarily trying to make a living, but they're just trying to get their art out there or their story that they've been working on for the past 15 years or something like that. And that's always really cool. And one thing that we always notice is you can tell if somebody is working with their story so much and it's successful, or if they're really making their money off of IPs that they don't own, something like fan art or something from Marvel or DC. And it's always really cool to see a table that just has its own original IP for sale, so that they're not selling fan art or something like that. And in particular, the book that I'm talking about today, I picked up a book while I was there. I thought the art was really cool looking and it drew me in. I had not even seen the book before. All the prints that the guy had of his characters on the table were really cool looking, and that's what drew me in. And from what I recall, I did not see any fan art on this guy's table. From what I remember, it was just this story, and I think that's really cool. And kudos to that guy, because it looked like he was doing really, really well. And so the prints drew me in, and I saw that he had a book, and I thought maybe it was going to be a collection of the art of this style that he's drawing. It was actually a story, and I asked him about it, and it was very interesting to me, and so I picked one up. And so it's the Tommy Gun Dolls by Daniel Cooney, and it has what drew me in was the 1920s, 1930s, post-World War One, roaring 20s look to it, kind of like Chicago, the musical or the movie, and something that I'm pretty interested in artistically. I think that's a really cool era, and also this kind of like heist looking, Tommy guns, chicks with guns type of aesthetic is really cool. And so it's a nice hardcover book with the UV coating, kind of like that shininess, and then the matte finish. It's a really nice book. It was only 25 bucks, and it also came with some other goodies. It came with this nice art sketch print, as he was calling it. As the signed first edition by the illustrator and author of the book. And so from what I understand, he was probably trying to do this. So in here, there was a blank square or blank rectangle, and he signed it, and it looked like what he was doing was sketching an original sketch for the people that bought the book. But he said that he was backed up, and so he couldn't do that for everybody. So he had these sketch cards printed out, and this is a sketch that he had done, and so this came with the book, and this goes in here. So at some other time in the future, whenever I come across him at another convention, I'll take the book and I'll have him sketch something in there for me, because that's always really cool to do. But still, I have this. This is individually numbered 44 of 125, and it's signed by him, so that'll always stay with the book here. And it came with a bookmark of, he had a few of the characters here, so I grabbed one of the characters that I didn't have of any of the other art for. Came with this sticker of one of the main characters. It looks super cool here. I feel like she looks awesome in black and white, just the line art. Like, she looks cool on the cover, but I feel like it's missing something, or it's adding a little too much of something to her face here that she, I don't know. It's hard to explain. She looks a little weird here relative to here. She looks awesome here. And this is how the comic looks inside. And that's why, I don't know, she looks so super good inside the comic book. And then I came with an art print too. Excuse me. Came with an art print, and he had tons of these things of all the characters in all kinds of different scenes from the comic and other just pin-up shots like this. And so Phil is actually partial to this print, so he chose this one. It came with the book too. So I'm gonna check out the inside here. So we have the inside of the comic, or the graphic novel, and so look what I'm talking about here. Inside's black and white, just line art, but she looks so cool holding this Tommy gun. It's got a real simple background here behind her. That's just awesome. Printed in China. Don't agree with that, but you know, whatever. All right, so it's got a cool quote there, and so the story. When I went over to his table and I was looking at the art, and I picked this up because my brother was talking to him a little bit. And look at how cool she looks here. That's awesome. So I was asking him, flipping through this, like, what's this story about? It looks like a heist story or something. Are these chicks going to be knocking over a bank or doing something like that? That was kind of a simple storyline that's done to death. This is a really cool panel. There's a lot of really cool panels in here. The black and white adds a ton of depth to the feel of the time of this story. It's just on point. So he's telling me that it's actually not about a heist. It's about kind of an investigation about one of these women in here. I guess they're a band of burlesque dancers or exotic dancers, something like that. One of them gets killed, and then the rest of them kind of group together, and they go out to solve the murder and knock over the organization that killed the first woman. And so I thought that was a really cool idea, and even though it's a story that you know, is probably out there a lot, this is just another telling of it in an original way, and I think this is going to be really cool. I've not read this yet, so this is going to be a fresh read for me, and I'm going to be doing a video upcoming about it soon, and do another recap of how I felt about the story and everything. But right now, talking about the art, the faces of the women in here are awesome. They're just perfect, really low detail. They work so well with just the black and white line art. Look at the street here. There's nothing here, and it keeps your focus on what needs to be focused on here. Like, there's a car in the background with no shading on it whatsoever, and that's really cool. Here's your subject. This is what you're looking at. Don't worry about that over there. It's there, but don't worry about it. Same thing going on over here. It's got a very, like, some of these panels are very much Sin City. Your character, your vehicle over here, there's no background. Do we need a background? No, we don't need a background at all. This is awesome. The art here, perspective is super cool. The shading on this jacket is awesome. This is actually the first time I'm going through this. I flipped through it a little bit, but I didn't get into it too much to look at the art in great detail. But you know, that says a lot too, because it's something that you don't need to really scrutinize too much in order to have a huge interest in it, like I have right now. You know, flipping through this, even at that very superficial flip through that I had, it really drew me in and made me buy the book. And I'm looking forward to reading it and getting into all these characters and looking through this art some more. And this a whole page here. This is super cool. He actually had this colored, was one of the prints, blonde woman, and kind kind of like this red tone going on in the room. This is a really cool print. Phil wanted this Flapper Girl over here though, but I was kind of interested in getting that one. That one, I didn't even think that was going to be a panel from inside the book, but that's really cool. But you know, that's another thing too. It shows you the difference between the colored version and the black and white version. Black and white version looks really, really cool. The colored version also looks really cool, but you know, this works so well. Look how dark this panel is. This is awesome. So just flipping through here, showing off this book, and I'm going to be reading it soon, and I'm going to put up another video. And so if you guys are looking forward to seeing that review, the total review of this graphic novel here, hit subscribe on YouTube, or if you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, my handle is @ZaidNinja. Or you could follow Zaid Comics and keep up with all of our art and graphic novels that we're going to be putting out, like Magic Cop, Ricky Rouse, or the Lost pages that are going to be coming up for crowdfunding soon. So if you want to make sure that you stay on that and see all of our next upcoming projects and everything like that, you can follow us on Twitter or Facebook @Zaid Comics. We also have a website that's under construction right now, so you can check that out. It just has our Twitter feed on there. And see you guys later.